Ladies and gentlemen, life doesn't give us what we want. Life gives us what we expect and what we're willing to fight for. And the truth is, most people never stop long enough to understand the forces shaping their lives. They're running, they're busy, but they're not awake. Today I want you to understand something so simple yet so powerful that once it clicks, it will change the way you see everything. Life is not happening to you. It's happening for you. Every struggle, every setback, every heartbreak, it's not there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. See, the challenges you face are not walls meant to keep you out. They're doors meant to test how badly you want what's on the other side. Now, I know some of you might be sitting here thinking, but you don't know my pain, you don't know my story. You're right, I don't. But I know this, your story is not over, you're still here. If you're breathing, you still have the power to write the next chapter. Understand this, people don't fail because life is too hard. They fail because they settle for easy. They give up their dreams for comfort. They trade purpose for distraction. But the moment you decide, I will no longer shrink to fit the life I was given. I will rise to claim the life I was made for. That's the moment your whole world shifts. Listen, your future is not waiting for permission. It's waiting for a decision. And the day you understand that everything you need is already inside you, that's the day you stop chasing life and start creating it. Because once you see this truth, you can never see life the same way again. Most people go through life believing they are victims of circumstance. They think the universe has singled them out for pain, for struggle, for disappointment. They wake up in the morning bracing themselves for what might go wrong, instead of preparing themselves for what could go right. But here's the shift. Life is not a series of accidents happening to you. Life is a series of lessons happening for you. Every moment, whether pleasant or painful, carries a hidden message designed to shape you into the person you need to become. Think about the times you've been rejected. Maybe it was a job, a relationship, or an opportunity you thought was the key to your happiness. At the time, it felt like life had turned its back on you. But when you look back with clarity, you realize that rejection was actually redirection. That no was a blessing dressed in disguise, pushing you toward a path that was better aligned with your true purpose. Life wasn't closing a door to punish you, it was guiding you toward the right one. Consider the hardships you've endured, the loss, the failure, the heartbreak. Those moments didn't come to break you, they came to build you. They introduced you to strength you didn't know you had, and they woke up resilience that was sleeping inside of you. If life had given you comfort all the way through, you would never have discovered the warrior within you. Life does not test the weak, it tests the strong to remind them just how strong they are. When you start to see life as happening for you, something incredible happens. You begin to trust the process. You stop asking, why me? And you start asking, what is this here to teach me? That single question flips the entire script of your life. Suddenly, obstacles become teachers. Struggles become assignments. Instead of drowning in self-pity, you rise with self-awareness, and awareness is the birthplace of power. Now, let's be clear, this doesn't mean life will stop throwing curveballs. No, storms will still come, people will still hurt you, plans will still fall apart. But when you understand that it's all part of a greater plan, you stop fearing the storm and start learning how to dance in the rain. You begin to recognize that every setback carries a seed of a comeback, that every delay is setting you up for a greater destiny. So the question is not whether life will challenge you. The question is, will you see those challenges as enemies or as allies? The moment you understand that everything in your path is working for your growth, your healing, your purpose, that's the moment you stop fighting life and start flowing with it. And when you flow with life, you unlock strength, peace, and vision that most people never find. Most people look at challenges and see walls. They see obstacles as proof that life is unfair, that the dream is too far out of reach, that success belongs to someone else. But what if you shifted your perspective? What if you looked at those very same challenges and realized they were not blocking your path, they are the path. They are opportunities in disguise, carefully crafted to prepare you for the very thing you're reaching for. Every challenge is a test of your commitment. It's life's way of asking you, how bad do you really want it? If success were easy, everyone would have it. If dreams came without struggle, they would hold no meaning. The mountain doesn't exist to intimidate you. The mountain exists so you can discover the climber within you. And with every step you take, with every barrier you overcome, you gain strength, endurance, and wisdom that no easy road could ever give you. Think back to the hardest times of your life, the moments you thought you wouldn't survive, The nights you cried yourself to sleep, the failures that shook your confidence to the core, and yet, look at you, you're still standing. And not only are you still here, you're stronger, wiser, and more prepared than you were before. The challenge didn't destroy you, it shaped you. It forced you to grow into the version of yourself capable of handling the blessings waiting on the other side. See, the problem is not the challenge itself, it's how we interpret it. Most people see problems as punishments, but the truth is problems are promotions. Life promotes you through pressure. Diamonds don't form without pressure. Muscles don't grow without resistance. And greatness does not emerge without struggle. If you want to be more, you must be willing to endure more. Every challenge is life's invitation to level up. And here's the beauty of it. Challenges carry gifts you can't see in the moment. Maybe the struggle taught you patience. Maybe the setback revealed your true friends. Maybe the closed door forced you to build your own. You don't see the lesson while you're in the middle of the storm, but once it passes, you realize the storm wasn't there to sink you. It was there to clear your path. Every difficulty plants seeds of wisdom you'll harvest later in life. So when life gets tough, don't shrink back, don't run away. Lean into it. Because the very challenge you are resisting may be the exact opportunity you've been praying for. It may be the training ground that equips you for the dream you've been chasing. The opportunity is not hidden somewhere out there. It's hidden inside the struggle right in front of you. Too many people live as prisoners of their past. They drag old mistakes, old failures, and old regrets like chains around their ankles. They allow yesterday's pain to dictate today's possibilities. But here's the truth. Your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. It's where you've been, not where you're going. What you did yesterday may have shaped you, but it does not have the authority to define who you are becoming. Think about this. Every single person you admire, every person who achieved greatness, carries a past filled with mistakes. The difference is, they didn't let their failures become their identity. They took the lessons, they took the scars, and they used them as fuel. That's the power you hold too. Your past is not a prison, it's a classroom. Every wrong turn, every heartbreak, every failure was teaching you something you needed to know for the road ahead. But the problem is, many people replay the same story in their heads over and over again. They keep reliving the betrayal, the loss, the failure. And because they replay it, they relive it. Understand this? The past is finished. It cannot hurt you anymore unless you give it permission. You don't have to keep pressing play on that painful memory. You have the power to change the narrative. You can choose to tell the story differently, not as the reason you're broken, but as the reason you're strong. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the labels people slapped on you when you were at your lowest. What defines you is not what happened back then. What defines you is what you decide to do now. The past is evidence of what you survived, but it's not the measure of what you're capable of. The fact that you're still here means you are greater than anything that tried to defeat you. And here's something powerful. The very thing you're ashamed of, the thing you've been running from, may be the very thing that connects you to others. Your past pain could become someone else's lifeline. That broken chapter could become a message of hope for someone who feels like giving up. Sometimes, what you think disqualifies you is the very thing that qualifies you to lead, to inspire, to transform lives. So don't run from your past, redeem it. Don't let it bury you, let it build you. Stop saying, I am who I was, and start declaring, I am more than who I was. Because once you understand that your past does not define you, you become unstoppable. You step into the freedom to write a new story, and you hold the pen with power in your hand. Life changes the moment you make a decision. Not when you wish, not when you hope, not when you wait for perfect timing. Change begins the very second you decide. Most people underestimate the power of decision because they confuse it with desire. Desire says, I want it. Decision says, I will have it no matter what. One is a dream, the other is a commitment. And that commitment has the power to transform your entire life. Think about the crossroads moments in your past. There was a time you chose to walk away from something toxic. There was a time you chose to take a risk, to try to step out of your comfort zone. That choice didn't just change a day, it changed the direction of your future. That's the hidden force inside every decision, the ability to shift the trajectory of your life. Even the smallest decision can create the biggest ripple. The truth is, indecision is one of the greatest thieves of destiny. People stand at the edge of their dreams and hesitate. They overthink, they doubt. They wait for guarantees that will never come, and in that hesitation, opportunities slip through their fingers. But when you decide fully, firmly, without turning back, you activate a power that pulls resources, people, and possibilities into your path. Decision is magnetic, it attracts momentum. Now, making a real decision doesn't mean it will be easy. In fact, a true decision often costs you something. It may cost you comfort, it may cost you approval, it may cost you security. But that's the price of growth. The moment you decide, you burn the bridge to your excuses. You close the door on your plan B. You say to yourself, this is it, I'm all in. That kind of decision has a fire to it, a fire that no obstacle can put out. History is full of people whose lives turned on a single decision. A decision to keep going when others quit. A decision to believe when the evidence said otherwise. A decision to stand tall when it would have been easier to shrink. And you have that same power. You don't need permission. You don't need everything figured out. All you need is the courage to decide. And once you do, the details begin to align. So understand this, your future is not waiting for luck. It's waiting for a choice. Not someday, not when the time is right, but right now. Because when you finally decide to stop tolerating less than you deserve and commit to creating the life you were meant to live, that's the day everything changes. Decision is the spark that sets your future on fire. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you, stay here. Don't push yourself. Don't risk anything. Just play it safe. And it feels good, comfortable, predictable, familiar. But here's the trap. Comfort is a silent dream killer. It lulls people into a false sense of security while robbing them of their potential. The life you want, the person you're capable of becoming, will never be found inside your comfort zone. Think about it. Growth never happens in ease. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Knowledge doesn't expand without challenge. Success doesn't blossom without risk. Comfort tells you to stay the same, but your destiny demands that you stretch. Every great achievement in history came because someone was willing to get uncomfortable, to step into uncertainty, to embrace the unfamiliar. They understood that staying comfortable meant staying average. The danger of comfort is that it feels harmless. Nobody wakes up one day and says, I choose mediocrity. No, it creeps in slowly. You start by saying, I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And before you know it, you've spent a lifetime waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Comfort doesn't just delay your dream, it buries it. Here's the truth. The dream inside you will demand discomfort. It will ask you to wake up earlier than you want to. It will push you to face fears you'd rather avoid. It will require sacrifices others aren't willing to make. And that's why most people never live their dreams. They're not willing to be uncomfortable long enough to see the breakthrough. But if you can endure the discomfort, you'll find a freedom and fulfillment that comfort could never provide. Remember this, every time you choose comfort, you trade possibility for familiarity. You give up what could be for what already is. But every time you choose growth, you expand your capacity to create, to achieve, to live fully. That's why discomfort is not your enemy, it's your ally. It's the sign that you're moving forward. If it scares you, if it stretches you, if it makes you sweat, that's exactly where you're supposed to be. So ask yourself, are you living or are you just surviving in comfort? Because comfort will hand you excuses, but growth will hand you results. Comfort will give you safety, but growth will give you strength. And the only way to step into the life you were meant to live is to walk straight through discomfort and claim what's on the other side. Too many people live as if their story has already been written in full. They believe their past failures, their mistakes, or the chapters of pain they've gone through mean the book of their life is finished. But let me tell you something, as long as you are breathing, your story is not over. You still have blank pages ahead of you, waiting for new victories, new breakthroughs, and new possibilities. The pen has not left your hand, you are still the author. Think about how powerful that is. Every great story has plot twists. Every hero faces dark chapters, seasons where everything seems lost, moments where it looks like the end. But those moments don't define the ending. They define the strength of the character. And your life works the same way. What you've been through may have delayed you, it may have knocked you down, but it has not disqualified you. Your next chapter can be the one that changes everything. The danger is when people stop writing. They let one failure become the final word. They let one heartbreak convince them they'll never love again. They let one setback make them believe success isn't for them. But listen closely, those things don't mean the end. They mean to be continued. You decide whether the pen stops moving. You decide if your story fades out or rises into triumph. Some of the most powerful stories in history come from people who refuse to let their worst chapter be their last. They faced defeat, ridicule, rejection, and pain, but they kept turning the page. And because they kept going, the same story that once looked like tragedy became a testimony. That's the power of persistence. You give yourself a chance to write a better ending. And here's the truth: the world needs the rest of your story. Someone out there is waiting for the chapter where you rise again, where you overcome, where you discover strength you didn't know you had. Your resilience, your determination, your refusal to quit, that might become the inspiration that saves someone else. If you stop writing now, the world will never get to read the masterpiece you are capable of creating. So don't put down the pen. Don't close the book. Don't let your past chapters convince you there isn't more ahead. Because your story is not finished, it's unfolding. And the next sentence you write, the next choice you make could be the turning point that changes the entire narrative of your life.